It was about, I think it was part of your mission statement, and it was creating a rugged individual. What exactly how do you define a rugged individual?
A rugged individual is someone who keeps going no matter what is in front of them. Often when we think of rugged, we think of maybe your Western cowboy or rugged mountains. They they can be rough and gruff on the outside, but soft as butter on the inside. But that rugged, so we're a very patriotic family and company, and rugged individuals are who created our country. It is through their ruggedness, their determination, um, and resolve to have better that developed the country into what it was then. And um, a rugged individual, in the sense of how that relates to our farm, is someone who who is determined and resolved to have the best health, the best quality, to live their life's purpose, to have their own impact on the world, whether that is being the best mom you can be, or, it doesn't have to do anything with fame. It's just being the very best version of yourself and not letting society dictate who you are, that you get to follow that call and accomplish your own individual mission.
I love that. Yeah, so when I first read it, I did also have that image spring to my mind of the Western cowboys, because that is what's, when you think rugged, you think sitting by a campfire cowboy, or gather or penning cows on horseback. But the fact that it makes so much sense now as well to incorporate more of like the modern person as to what they could be when it comes to being rugged. Because as much as I love farming, as much as I love regenerative agriculture and your whole mission statement, it probably wouldn't make the most sense for every single person to be that one specific thing. But rugged, I think, is something that we could all strive for.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Uh, so that clarifies a lot of what your mission statement is on and how you approach your whole farm and your family life. And speaking of that, because you did mention you have 6 kids and you homeschool all 6 of them, that has got to be a, a chore. How do you handle running a farm? I know you and your husband are partners, but like, you help run a farm and you manage to teach 6 children, and you said you use your farm as a curriculum. Could you explain a little bit more on that exactly?
Yeah. So this goes back to the rugged individual, the person who is determined, right? um, you know, Homeschooling is not what a lot of people think it is. It's not school at home. Our What we do with our children is, we call it leadership education. We are about, and that's that rugged individual, true leaders and leadership. So our farm is curriculum because of the type of people that it will create our children to be. Our children have a very visceral connection to reality, the connection of life and death, you know, um, cause and effect, what it is to work hard. And it's not that people can't do that without a farm. That's not what I'm saying at all. You can teach your children to work hard um, without a farm, but this is what it does for our children. It, my life book is Farmer Boy, and that is a book in the series of the Little House on the Prairie series, by Laura Ingalls. And if you've never read any of those books, I strongly encourage you to read them. But in Farmer Boy, the main character is Almanzo, and he's a 10-year-old boy, and he loves horses. And um, his dad, towards the end of the book, has this conversation with Almanzo where he Almanzo has this opportunity to go and apprentice for someone else. And his dad is explaining to him, well, you can go and you can do that, and you will learn great and wonderful things, but you will also be at his beck and call. You will be at your customer's beck and call for everything. You will be indoors most of the time, building these wagons, building these buggies. Your life will be determined by somebody else. And he says, but if you are a farmer, you make the clothes you wear, you grow the food you eat, you live your life on your terms, and you are beholden to nobody. It's a lot of hard work. It may not pay as much as some of these other jobs, but you are free. And that is what we want to give to our children. And that is what we feel like we give our children through our farm. It's learning those leadership and entrepreneurial skills, and that they are out doing the chores. They're learning the things right alongside us. Our 16-year-old son, he's been managing our cows all summer long. He builds the paddocks, he moves them, he communicates with his dad about, what their supplements are, or this isn't working or whatever, and they do that together. We don't follow book curriculum. In the winter time is our reading time, where we're a reading family. We read lots of things, classics and classic literature, and diving into our own interests, but it's all to give them experience to grow and develop character, so that they too will find their own purpose and mission in life, and to fulfill that. So our education, that kind of went maybe not in the direction you were quite asking, but so what does it look like for me to homeschool them? It's child-led. They determine what they want to learn. I am here as a mentor. I guide them, I direct them, and I provide resources. But their education is on them, what they learn, how they develop. And to some, that sounds like maybe I don't do much, but I can tell you one of our foundations is to inspire, not require. And that is hard work, to inspire somebody to want to be better versus requiring them to do these things. Inspiration is hard work. But that's what we do. And all of our children, they, when they hit a certain age, they, 11, 10, 11, like they want to read all day long, and mom is interrupting them if she's telling them to, go do something, because they just want to dive in and read and study. Our oldest is 18, and she is, she's going to farm. She is going to grow the sheep side of our business, and she is going to do dairy, and she's very, she's building these things. She was going to go to college to be a vet, and she was just like, I can't do that. This is what I'm called to. And so she's diving in and fulfilling that. And so it's actually not as hard. Well, the inspiration is hard, but we all manage ourselves. And so the other side of it is me focusing on what I'm passionate about. My children will do what I do, not what I say. So if I'm telling them, find your passion, if I'm telling them, read your book, but I'm not reading and I'm not following my passion, they're not going to do it. So I focus on the things that bring me joy, that inspire me, that they see me working really hard and going through the struggles of what it is to be a business owner and a farmer, and it inspires them to go after what they want to. Hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. I love that. I could probably go on for hours just ranting about how much I do not like our current educational system. And it sounds like what you're doing for your kids is so much, I can't really say better, but I do believe it sounds better to me. You're teaching them to be independent individuals that take life for themselves and not just do what other people tell them to do, not sit in a desk all day just listening to someone explain theoreticals and nonsense that's never going to contribute to anything meaningful in their life, but it's just going to teach them to sit there and do as they're told. Whereas you are teaching them to be their own person.
Yeah.
And we
Rugged.
need more of that. Yes. Rugged individuals.
And that, humans naturally love to learn and want to learn. I mean, I see all the books on your shelf. When we have something we're passionate about, we dive into it and we learn it. If we have to know something, we will learn it. And that's, I don't rely on anything I learned in school.
I can't remember the last time I
Everything.
had to know a squared plus b squared equals c squared ever in my
No,
life.
but what I do need to know, I learn it and I go after it. And
Mhm.
so um, that's what I teach my kids to do. So, and that's what they do, and they'll be successful.